Did you know that iron deficiency is probably one of the most common deficiencies globally? I read somewhere, I think that it's about like affecting 25% of the population. I'm not 100% sure about that specific statistic, but it's one of the leading nutritional deficiencies globally. People like to say, oh, it's vegetarians or vegans or people are on a plant-based diet or whatever that have low iron, but essentially it's one of the most common deficiencies globally across, different nationalities, different areas, different parts of the world. So it's definitely something that a lot of people suffer from. I'm gonna try my best to cover some of the most important things that you need to know about iron, including what causes iron deficiency, what are some of the symptoms, some of the foods that help boost your iron, some things to avoid, some things that will help with absorption, supplementation, and a few other things and tips that are worth knowing. So before we get started, I'm Miral, and if you want to upgrade to your 2.0 version of yourself, then make sure to subscribe to my channel. I post daily healthy plant-based recipes and informative content and just health and wellness kind of content. Let's get started. So how common is iron deficiency? Well, it's affecting more than 1 billion people worldwide. So it's making it one of the leading deficiencies globally. What causes iron deficiency? Well, some of the causes could be low iron intake, poor iron absorption. So sometimes even when you are consuming iron, maybe your body's not absorbing it, and we're going to talk a bit more about that later in the video. People that need more iron, whether maybe perhaps pregnant women or people that are going through growth spurts and so on. And fourth, people that are experiencing blood loss, women on their menstruation, or if there is some injuries and that you've lost some blood. There are different kind of scenarios of people experiencing low iron. So there are different kind of potential causes for iron deficiency. What's important is that you consult with your healthcare professional and get your regular checks. So everybody's situation is going to be different. Even if you have low iron, you should definitely speak to your healthcare professional because you will probably have more tailored kind of plan. For this video, a lot of the food and lifestyle tips will help with minimal iron deficiency or help boost your iron or help support your iron plan with your healthcare professional. But obviously if it's anemia or anything like that, then obviously you probably need a more drastic intervention with your doctor. What are some of the symptoms of low iron? Honestly, I think some of the symptoms can be related to iron deficiency or other stuff. For iron deficiency specifically, sometimes fatigue, pale skin, cold hands, maybe headaches could be the symptom for iron deficiency. But of course, these symptoms can also be related to other things. Obviously, speak to your healthcare professional. So what are some foods that are high in iron? I'm going to share with you the top plant-based iron-rich foods. So first up is like lentils. So lentils and beans, they're a great source of iron and they are super versatile. So you can obviously have them as a soup or with a rice-based dish or in a wrap and so much more. It's such a versatile ingredient. So it's such a great ingredient and easy to incorporate. Next up is quinoa. Quinoa also contains all 9 essential amino acids and contains iron. Super easy to use, especially if you add it into like maybe a salad or even as a side instead of rice with a stew, also making it quite versatile. Some dark leafy greens like spinach, also a great source of iron. So cooking spinach helps reduce oxalate, which makes it easier to absorb. You can add it to soups, sautés, stews. So beetroot is a great ingredient. It's high in iron, it's high in folic acid and vitamin C. And we're going to talk about the vitamin C in a minute and the importance of vitamin C when it comes to iron absorption. There's also pumpkin seeds. You can add them to your salads, sprinkling some on a toast. So fortified milks are also a good source of iron. So they're great if you're having it with your oatmeal, or if you're making some sort of like dessert, but not with your coffees and tea. We're going to talk about that in the next chapter. Tofu or tempeh, making them also quite versatile. You can add them to stir fries, curries, scrambled, and dried raisins and apricots also surprisingly have a good amount of iron. To help boost your iron absorption, it's very important to pair vitamin C with your iron-rich foods. Some good sources of vitamin C are citrusy fruits. You can use orange, lemon, or lime. You can add a squeeze of that into your savory dishes or even your sweets. So like an oatmeal, if you have an oatmeal, you can always add in a squeeze of orange or have a piece of orange, or after your meal you can have some orange to help with iron absorption. Other ingredient that's really kind of expected is red bell peppers. They're really great source of vitamin C. So adding that to your salad, for example, just incorporating bell peppers into your salads or soup, or if having a bell pepper soup and then your meal has iron-rich foods, you can have it together in the same meal or before and after. And also strawberries are also a good source of vitamin C, but there's also many more, of course. Iron absorption inhibitors. This is super important to keep an eye out for. So coffees and teas significantly inhibit the absorption of iron. I think coffees about 70 to 80%, teas are even up to 80 to 90%, if I'm not mistaken. So the recommendation is to avoid coffee and tea 1 to 2 hours before or after a meal. You know, right now, actually, not that I'm having any iron-rich food as we speak, but I am drinking an herbal tea. So if you're really craving a hot drink, then just opt for maybe an herbal tea instead when it's close to your meal. Something else worth considering is using iron cookware, like iron pots and pans. Anyway, cast iron is a fantastic kind of pot and pan to use, one of the cleaner cookware that you can use. So it's a win-win situation. You're using, you know, pure cast iron that is safer, doesn't release any kind of, you know, chemicals, but it's also suggesting that it could possibly help with contributing to boosting your iron levels if used regularly and over an extended period of time. And also there is the iron fish. The iron fish is also something that could possibly contribute to boosting iron if used frequently and over an extended period of time for several months. And the way to use an iron fish is to simply add it to your liquid food. So anything like a soup or a stew, add it when you're cooking, allow it to boil for 10 minutes, and then you can take it out. Another way you can use the iron fish is to boil some water. So essentially you're fortifying your water or your broth by boiling it for 10 minutes and then taking it out. And also what's important when you're using the iron fish is to add also something acidic to help with the iron absorption. So maybe a squeeze of lemon juice or orange juice can be the way to go. For example, you are cooking something like roasted red pepper soup. The roasted red pepper already is a good source of vitamin C. So then therefore, if you're using the iron fish, then you've got your vitamin C there already. Supplementation. Well, with supplementation, of course, before you supplement with anything, you really should be consulting your healthcare provider and see if it's even necessary to supplement. And if it is necessary to supplement, then obviously you need to check what the recommended dosage is and for which period of time. Remember, with supplementation, there are different qualities of supplements, some better than others. So, you know, maybe it's worth kind of also looking into that. But also supplements that contain iron and also vitamin C are the way to go. But of course, with the recommendation of your healthcare professional. I personally check my iron levels annually. If I am low on iron, then I will make sure to kind of, you know, be more proactive with everything, with incorporating iron-rich food and being more compliant, paying more attention to my tea and coffee consumption around my meals. So I'll try to be a lot more mindful with that. But also I've had to also supplement in some cases with iron supplements. And so when I do, then I'll go 3 months later, see the doctor again and just check what my levels are and kind of keep it at bay. For me, iron has always been something I've struggled with all of my life. One thing really important to mention here as well, it could contribute to hair fall. So for me, I just really make sure it's a priority to be on top of my iron levels. I don't want to take any risks. Experiencing hair loss happens so quickly, but then trying to regain it takes such a long time to grow out sometimes. So it's super important, I think, for us to be really on top of our numbers and making sure we're doing our blood work regularly and that we are in the optimal levels if possible. So guys, make sure to subscribe to my channel, if not for me, at least for this cute little dog, my little cute little Twixie. On my channel, you're gonna find healthy plant-based recipes and a whole lot of wellness kind of content. So I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.